Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review in 3 minutes, give or take. This time we're checking out Missile Command Recharged. This game is developed by Atom Vision Studios, Sneaky Buck Studios, and published by Atari, and releases on November 1st, 2022 for $9.99. Now, this is just another game in the kind of Recharge series that Atari's been doing, where they kind of reimagine and re-release some of their old school games, and it's glad to see that Missile Command has finally hit the console and become one of those titles. I can't wait to see what they bring out next. So, Missile Command Recharged, literally, like I said, it's Missile Command, hence why we're only doing a 3-minute-ish review instead of a full review like we normally do. Control-wise, this game's perfect. It works just fine, feels just like Missile Command, and plays just like perfect on a controller. Now, what does the game do that maybe the old school games didn't do is now you have some new introduced mechanics where you can get various little upgrades. As you can see, I've got a big explosions now, a couple new enemy types that'll appear up, as well as the ability to retroactively upgrade abilities throughout the missions. And maybe we'll die here in just a minute during this video and you can kind of see how this works, but the gameplay is pretty simplistic. You have 3 guns and you need to protect your city. If you've never played Missile Command, I definitely think this is a game that's, a pretty nice step in for retro style gamers, and a game that's been kind of recharged, so to speak, versus their reimagined logic, and done in a very well way. Now, the way the game does it that's a little different is every time you play the game, all your score is going to progressively carry over into the ability to do upgrades, whereas you can upgrade your guns, your bullets, and a couple other different mechanics in the game, as well as the game introduces missions, just like the other Recharged games, where those missions give you opportunities to kind of just work through challenges, and you'll also score points that you can then use to do upgrades, especially for future games, that allow you to progressively get higher and higher scores. Achievement-wise, the game's not too overly difficult, and as well as like visually and soundtrack-wise, it feels like Missile Command. It's got that really strong nostalgic vibe, also while still introducing, just upgraded visuals. It's not, just a plain boring game, and it works really well, just like many of the other games that, like I said, I'm going to reference a lot of them still and mention them because, they've done a really good job with this Recharge series, and I'm pretty confident that it's been about time for these things to hit the console. As far as the variety and how the game works up and the ramps of skills and difficulty, the game, as you can see, starts off at a slow pace and continually ramps up, and your goal is just to last as long as you can. If you lose your buildings, all of them, your game ends, and your score is going to wrap up toward the end of the game. What we'll do is we'll just let these guys take us all out here. You can see there's a nice variety of enemy types that slowly get introduced as you play, and it's a nice opportunity to kind of work toward different progressions and the different abilities that introduce into the game. Definitely make it a nice, interesting experience while you're playing as well. Achievement-wise, the game's not too difficult. Experienced players of Missile Command shouldn't have too hard of a time completing this game, as well as inexperienced people won't have too hard of a time ramping up and getting better at the game. As you can see, just a little bit to highlight here, there are the upgrades where you can spend your points to progressively grow better. There's the leaderboard, so you can see how you're kind of ranking against your friends, as well as the missions that give you just different skill sets and goals to try to do that you can progressively knock out, as well as they have like these multiplayer missions where you can play, I believe, locally with other people, track achievements in game, and everything in between. As far as an opinion of buy sell pass, I definitely think for $10, Missile Command Recharge is definitely worth picking up. Outside of that, if you have any questions or want to know more, comment down below. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, and I hope you enjoyed this review in 3 minutes, give or take. Have a great day.